Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles.
I'm Lydia Judy.
I'm Derek.
Oh, my God. And this is Screenplay Movies, the podcast where we review a horror movie each week. We go over the horror news, and Derek turns into the magic man. What was that? It's like you're about to do spirit fingers.
Or my best impression of gold dust.
Oh, kind of gold dusty. Yeah.
I was watching an interview with Dustin Rhodes,
Nice.
and he was
Nice.
talking about how he was pitched the idea and he didn't know what, not misogyny. What was the word? Either way, he's like, I had to look it up in the dictionary.
Androgynous,
Yeah.
Derek, is where you're looking
Yeah, there you go. Androgynous, yeah.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Pretty exhausted tonight, so if you see me snoozing over here, just don't worry about it.
I just call you Derek.
That's rude.
But accurate.
I mean, sometimes it's happened once
Or twice.
or twice.
Twice, maybe. Maybe 3 times.
You know when we go high pitch that we don't believe it. So, tonight we are doing the 2006 film, Paranormal Activity, a big one in the found footage genre. And we got a lot to discuss about it. But before we get into that, guys, I want to break down a wee bit of horror news. Now, we don't have an awful lot, but what we got is kind of cool. So let's start with this big news that was announced a couple days ago. But the directors of Deadstream, the movie that came out a few years ago, are teaming up with the Boulder Light Pictures who did Barbarian, and they are making a new Amityville movie.
Uh-oh.
So we're getting a new Amityville. Now, this won't be based on the novel per se. They say its roots are instead in the famed real-life paranormal story behind these stories. With the film offering a fresh look at the notorious house itself and the legend situated in the public domain. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
The legend is there is no legend. It was created during that film. But let's see what this goes for. I mean, if it's public domain, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about the DeFeos? Are we talking about prior to the DeFeos? They're just making stuff up. Well, how do you guys feel about this?
Man, I don't know how I feel about this anymore. I used to think that I was like a big Amityville fan until we kind of, covered some of the stuff on here, and it's like, well,
You're a fan of the idea of the Amityville.
yeah. So I guess I like to think that if they did a good, scary, haunted house movie, I'd be really into it.
The novel is really good. It's really scary. The book, the movie, the first movie, we've covered it. It's fine. Kind of dull, but it's fine. And then, we've done the two sequels, the first two sequels, and they are dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly.
How are you feeling about this news, Derek? You're muted. You were saying?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Not into it. You've given up on the whole franchise.
I just, I'm ready for them to do something original. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think there's one about a haunted backpack.
There is.
Yes.
That's not like an Amityville movie. Basically, the Amityville is in the public domain. As long as you don't tell a story about the Lutzes, then they just attach Amityville to kind of anything. So yes, there are.
Yeah.
There is, that's why when I say we're going to do the Amityville movies, we're going to do basically up until like the clock one. It's about time. and then jump straight to the Ryan Reynolds remake when we get there,
Yeah.
because there's literally like 40 movies named Amityville,
Yeah.
and they're about like you said, Derek. One's about a backpack. You know,
It's like called Backpack. Like that's the craziest title I've ever heard for a movie ever. The Amityville Backpack. Like that's like you have no more ideas for this. They were just looking around the room, I think.
So do you remember that that Family Guy sketch? There's a bit in Family Guy early season, Lydia, where it's Stephen King and he's talking to his publisher and he's like, "Well, I got a new story. It's about a haunted lamp."
Yeah.
Ooh!
Yep.
That's
Yep.
kind of what they're doing now.
Yeah. Except for Stephen King, it works every time. Well, maybe
Yeah,
not
I
every
mean, a
time,
lot of the
but
times, yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of the times, it's like, yeah, Stephen King haunted backpack. I'm in.
Yeah. This news, we've got a bunch of casting news for Robert Edgar's werewolf movie, Werewolf. You guys want to hear what we got here so far?
Let's hear it.
Throw it at me.
So far we have Aaron Taylor Johnson has signed on. Lily
Yeah.
Rose Depp is in talks to star, and Willem Dafoe is of course attached to
Oh,
star.
dang.
Because Willem Dafoe's in every Robert Eggers movie after The Lighthouse, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it is, set in the 13th century and being described as a medieval horror movie. It's coming Christmas of next year, and it's co-wrote by Sejon, an Icelandic poet and novelist who wrote the Northman with Eggers. So,
Cool.
I mean, cast is stacking up. I mean, those basically it's going to be a Nosferatu reunion. It sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be there.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna be there.
Nosferatu was just fucking incredible.
It was so good. I love pretty much all of his movies.
We've got to get to
they're
that
all
one.
good.
Got to
We
get to
got a
that
lot
one
of
soon.
his to do.
All of them, I think.
We've done the
I think
Witch.
we've only done The Witch. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And I mean, the Northman's not a horror film, so we won't be doing that one. But
Yeah.
The Lighthouse.
I just picked up that one at a yard sale for $1, so pretty happy.
Nice.
I haven't seen it yet, so I was like, $1?
Nice.
Heck yeah!
I'm in.
Put it right next to The Witch on my shelf.
Okay, guys. So The Walking Dead, just like their titular zombies, will not die because the Walking Dead Dead City has been renewed for a third season with a new showrunner. I think this is their second or third showrunner, but it's moving on. So that series continues. I don't know if you guys follow The Walking Dead anymore.
I don't, but
I
my
don't
dad
either.
does. My dad follows it still, so I hear things.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of quit watching after Negan was introduced. Somewhere around that time is kind of when I stopped watching for a while.
Me too.
And then I crept back in for certain episodes, and I watched Rick's last episode, and then I watched the finale, and then I watched the Rick and Michonne show because I wanted to see how his story ended. But yeah, there's just because there's Walking Dead, there's Fear the Walking Dead, there's Dead City, there's the Daryl Dixon show. It's just a lot, man. But I mean, it's good that there's enough of an appetite that it keeps going,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's good for horror that it's still popular, but it's not anywhere near what it was in its peak. Do you remember how crazy popular that show was?
Yeah. It was insane.
Like it was. Yeah, it was literally the the most popular show on television. It was wild during its
Mhm.
peak.
It was like
but-
the Beatles of zombies.
Dude,
I mean,
it was.
It started
It
out
was
really, really strong.
Yeah.
Well, dude, the first season I think is one of the best seasons of television. I think the first season of The Walking Dead is incredible.
it
That
is.
6
Yeah.
episode run that they do for that first season is awesome. I loved it. And I think the pilot episode of The Walking Dead is one of the best episodes of television, period. I loved it. I remember I watched that thing when I watched the premiere,
Me
and I
too.
watched that pilot episode, and I was like, I'm definitely in on this. I was stoked. I recorded it, watched it multiple times. Bought the first season on Blu-ray just because of that episode. 'Cause the rest of the season was fine, but that first episode is just phenomenal. Then it exploded and then went, downhill, and now it's still freaking surviving. So good for those guys.
Mhm.
Guys, I got another figure for you. I know you love these. I know you love looking at these figures. Lydia, especially. So, I've got a new one for you. This is H2O's Michael Myers from NECA. Tell me what you think.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So,
That looks pretty
look,
good.
it comes with all the fucking masks because there's like 4 masks in the
Yeah, I was gonna say like that looks pretty legit for H2O.
movie. I mean, it's pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, say what you will. I don't love the H2O mask. I think all of them are pretty fucking bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
These look good though
but they
on this
look
little
just
boy.
like it. They look just
Yeah.
like it. Yeah. I mean, here's some, pictures of it. See,
Got
there's the one that they
the
hated.
different hands.
Yeah. So here's it's interesting. So this is the Stan Winston one that is in the film. This is the one that they shot with on set originally, but they had to reshoot the scenes because when the dailies came back, the producers hated it, said it looked like an alien face. And this is
Dude.
like, yeah,
I wish that they had the tan one.
that's not from that one. You keep saying that. That we've talked about.
I
This.
know. I'm just saying, in general, they should have thrown it in there as like an Easter egg. Here's a tan.
They
Michael
do
Myers.
have
But
that
you
one
know.
on the part. They do on the part 4 mask. They do have the tan one
So they make
with the blonde hair.
variations of, yeah, they make variations of Michael Myers figures. Well, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then finally, last bit of news: Robert Englund is finally getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Halloween Day.
How appropriate.
Right?
That
That's
would
incredible,
be
right?
so fun to be at. Like that would be the funnest one to be like part of.
You know he's going to have great stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there couldn't be anybody more deserving than Robert Englund. I mean, he's been doing this thing for 40 plus years, and he created an icon with Freddy. I mean, Wes Craven put pen to paper to create Freddy, but Robert Englund brought Freddy to life. You know what I mean?
I feel like I just compared him to like Bela Lugosi in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is like kind of comparable in that way of like making
Boris
such
Karloff?
an impact and being like, but also being like such a sweetheart, like such a cool guy to just be around. Like,
yeah, we love you, Robert. I'm so glad that this is happening for him. I'm stoked.
That is really cool.
Just like loves what he does, and I love that.
Yeah, I watched an interview popped up with him on one of my social media feeds, and I watched it. It was around the time of Dream Warriors, and the interviewer was asking him all these questions, and he was like, some of them were like these pointed kind of, nose up to the air kind of questions about horror movies, and she was like, "Do you like your movies?" He's like, "Yeah, I really do." He's like, "I really like Dream Warriors." He's like, I think part 2 could have been better. There's parts of it that are good. I think the beginning is good, and I think the ending is good. But there's parts in the middle where it's not great. He's like, I think part 1's already a classic. So, yeah. And she asks, why horror movies? And he goes on to explain that they're fun, and it's cool, and why not? And you're just like, yeah.
Those are the reasons, for sure. It's like, it's fun, and it's cool.
Exactly. And when you're a kid, you love it. And as big kids like we are, we love it still. Even if some of us are knocking on the door of that AARP card.
Not me. Not me.
I'm just kidding. You're a good 3 years away from that shit.
I'm way longer than that.
I know. I'm teasing. But guys, that wraps up the horror news. So it's time to pull out our
Old school.
cameras
Nice. Ah, man, I should have got mine out. We could have planned that.
and record some found footage of ghosties with 2006's Paranormal Activity. So, guys, do you guys remember the first time you watched Paranormal Activity?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Tell me about it.
I actually had to ask Quincy because I remember I was on a date with somebody. Turns out it was my ex because I was
It
like,
was not
"Hey, we
her. It was
watched."
2006, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know because we had went to a horror movie on like one of our first dates. But yeah, so I was on a date. I've only seen this movie one time, I think, and I was on a
Really?
date. Yep.
Interesting.
So we went to the movie theater to see it.
Cool.
That's crazy. You've only seen this one time and you picked it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can't wait
How
to hear
about
what you
you,
think.
Lydia?
Um, I was thinking about this as I was watching it. I saw this, I was probably a freshman, and I saw it with my friends at like a sleepover and my friend had like a big TV and like big couches and everything, and it was just such a mood. We watched it in the dark. We were scared to death. It was wonderful. It was so wonderful, and I love watching this now because I can still kind of feel that like excitement of like, thinking that this was real and just being so scared. And we always played with the Ouija board back then and everything, so it was it was wonderful. It was just
That's
beautiful
fun.
time. Youth. This
So,
was like I was thinking that this is like our like my generation's Blair Witch.
you're right. Yeah, absolutely. So, I remember vividly the first time I saw this because it's pretty fun. I was in college, and uh, my parents asked me if I wanted to go to the movies. It was just like a chill summer day. I'm pretty sure this came out in the summer. Um, when did it come out? No, October. So it was a fall day. But I was just chilling there. 2007 is when it was released. I was just chilling, and my parents were like, "Hey, do you want to go to the movies?" And I was like, "Sure." You want to go? They're like, "We're gonna go see Paranormal Activity. Do you want to go?" Because they knew I was into horror movies. I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." So I went with them, and I was like, the the previews looked pretty cool and everything." But I remember, so we went. I went and saw this with my mom and dad, and it worked like gangbusters in the theater. It was fun watching all of the people jump at the spots and be like, oh, scared and everything. Um, so yeah, in the theater, this thing worked like gangbusters, and it was a great experience. And I remember we walked out of there talking about it, and like, my mom was like, "Oh, that was a good one." Dad was like, "Yeah, it was pretty scary," and I was like, "Yeah, that was fun." It's like they did a great job. It was, and I was kind of into like the whole. What fascinated me the most was the behind the scenes of like they made this for how fucking much money, how much
Yeah,
money they made because
I
yeah,
was going to bring that up here in just a
my
second.
brain started ticking immediately like, man, I can make a movie. But then I realized that the types of movie I want to make couldn't be made with a video camera and one guy. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I remember like going to the theaters and having a good time with this one. And then I've watched it several times since. I mean, when it came out on DVD, that was the format then, I think. DVD and maybe Blu-ray. But we rented it when it came out again, watched it, watched the sequels. I watched the first several sequels of this franchise. I actually went to the movies to see part 3, I think, which was an experience as well
yeah,
because
yeah.
it was like only me and the girl I was dating at the time in the theater, maybe a couple other people, and it just was the vibe was not there, and it was just like it's like what it looked literally. It was felt like just sitting in a movie theater watching somebody's home movie.
Yeah, it almost works better to watch it at home.
And I was like, oh man, this is not the vibe. This is not working for me. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Real
this
quick.
thing, you guys.
Real
Go ahead,
quick.
Derek. Mhm.
All right. Have either of you ever said this to, in any circumstance whatsoever? Oh, yeah, 1,000,000%.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
on
yeah.
board 1,000,000%. Yeah, these folks literally meant it. So the budget kind of varies, but around $15,000 was the production budget for this. That doesn't account for like marketing and stuff like that.
Well, it doesn't count for post production. The post production on it was 200,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like
Yeah.
just
So
on the the production piece,
yeah,
not the
just the
post
filming.
production.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 15,000 made 193 million. So it literally was a million%
Yeah, close to. Yeah.
return. Yeah.
Because so the full budget would be around $215,000. The movie was made for.
All
Wow.
Um,
right. So let's do
it,
some new math. So
yeah.
you
So
said
it would be
250,
215 because it was made for
215,000.
15,000, and then post production was 200,000, which was very important because post production is what made this movie a movie.
Yes.
They filmed
Yeah.
the 15,000 was for the the director and the crew and the director and the actors to film the film.
Yep. Yep.
And
A
then
couple
then they had to
effects.
cut the whole movie because they had tons and tons and tons of footage. They had to whittle this thing down into a cohesive narrative, and then they had to make it into a tight narrative, and then they had to do the after effects, your special effects, your
Yep.
visual effects, um, and especially the ending, which was changed. There are 3 endings shot for this movie, which I'll get into.
It's almost 900%. Or no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, yeah, it was a lot. They made a lot of money on this movie.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about that too. Like I can't not think about that. That this movie is just so cheap to make compared.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's Oren Pele is the one that made it, and it's a great concept. I mean, it took the Blair Witch concept, but
Yeah.
to another level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They centralized it at, your home and not just like empty woods and
Correct.
things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you probably couldn't do something like this and get the same success nowadays. I just
Yeah.
don't know
Well,
how you would.
well, people
Go ahead.
try.
Oh yeah.
I was going to ask you, Derek, if you've ever heard of the Blackwell Ghost.
Nope.
I think maybe if you're into this movie, you might be into that. I can't remember what year it came out, but it's more recent, and it kind of has a similar vibe to this. And it kind of was, caused a stir in the paranormal community for a while. So,
So yeah,
I see it here.
that's like some of the production stuff on this is very interesting. So, for instance, the movie after it was kind of cut together and stuff, after they kind of got it cut together and put together, it was screened for DreamWorks basically, and they had like he worked on to re-edit the film and submitted it to the Sundance Film Festival, but it was rejected strangely. But the DVD impressed DreamWorks executives, including a little fellow you might have heard of named Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
sounds
that guy?
familiar.
Yeah, and so the original plan for this thing was to remake it with a bigger budget and Pele directing it, and include the original as an extra on the DVD. But they didn't, But eventually, he agreed, but stipulated a test screening of the original to see how it would go, and then during that, he realized how scary it worked, how much it worked, the original. So they just released the original low ass budget movie, except
That
for
was the
they
right
changed the
decision.
ending, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So the story of Paranormal Activity itself centers on a couple named Katie and Mika, just like Blair Witch. It's their real first names, Katie and Mika.
Yep.
As to blur the lines. Obviously, there's a lot of Blair Witch influence on this,
Mm-hmm.
including, I think, even sort of the pacing. Except this has a little bit tighter pace. Like it has more shit that happens than Blair Witch. Because if we did Blair Witch not too long ago, and if we're being fair, nothing really happens through most of the film.
That's pretty true. Yeah.
And this one is similar, but except that there's always something that is happening, even if it's not that exciting. There's
Mm-hmm.
always something that's happening that's kind of raising the stakes of the haunting, or the demon possession, as it were. Um, and the conceit is that she has been this paranormal entity has started bringing up its paranormal activity again, and this is first time Mika's kind of experiencing it. So he buys a camera in order to document this phenomenon, and that's why they have a video camera out. So they do their best to kind of make the video camera situation work. Of course, it doesn't always, because that's just the suspicion of disbelief that you have to put in for these found footage movies. But that's the framework to tell this story, which is really not so much a haunting movie as it is a relationship drama, which I'll get into what I think the movie is actually about. Um, but guys, let's talk about our main character, because really the movie only has 4 characters in it. We have Mika and Katie are our 2 main characters. Then there's the psychic doctor man who comes in, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's her best friend that's there for 2 scenes. That's like, what are you doing? I don't think this is good. She's not the best. um, so what do we think of our characters here? Because I think Katie, the actor and the character, is a really good character, and she's great in it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they both do pretty great.
No, I think the performances are great on both for sure too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
something. Go ahead, Derek.
Go ahead. Nope, go
No,
for
you
it.
go first. You go first.
I
Haven't heard
don't
from you in a
know.
while. What? Okay. Did you freeze?
No, I'm here. Go ahead. I don't even know what I was going to say now.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say something that may be out of pocket, but it is what it is, okay? Which is Mika sucks.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's actually what I was going to say.
Yeah, Mika sucks. He's such an asshole,
Yeah.
and I kind of hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate him, but I definitely think he sucks. Like I would be like breaking up with him for sure. For like
Yeah,
he crosses so many boundaries and is just not
so
listening
many.
to her. Like yeah, like you said, like relationship drama wise, it's like
Yeah.
he is the literal one causing all of this.
Mika is a toxic motherfucker, is what he is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
toxic AF. Like, just such a. I mean, from the word jump, I mean, she agrees to the video camera with certain caveats, and then he immediately just breaks all of them, and
yeah,
then tries to provoke the thing, even though she asks him not to. And look, I can see me not believing in it because I don't believe in ghosts. But if my spouse was that afraid of it, I definitely wouldn't exasperate the situation, you know? Especially when I am experiencing actual shit. I'd be like, what's going on? But the fact that his reaction to any of the sort of hauntings is, come on, bro, let's go. What are you gonna fucking MMA fight this demon? What are you talking about?
yeah,
Like, what are we talking about here?
yeah.
Show
It's
yourself, bro.
he's impossible. He's so impossible. I
Dude,
think
the
the
worst.
reason he's likable is because he's probably not actually like that in real life. So he's just
Hmm?
like, he's tolerable because he's probably actually a good guy, but he's just doing really stupid things.
Dude, he when he brings the Ouija board in,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
um,
That I'm like screaming the whole time. He's
it
got the
just
Ouija
crosses the line.
board.
So it starts off with just little bumps in the night, little
Hmm.
little things, small hauntings, and then it starts to escalate, and the the parapsychologist comes in, and he's like, I deal with ghosts, spirits, but this feels like a demon which has never been alive, and I don't know anything. I have a friend that you can call who's an expert in this, and he'll get you fixed up immediately. I don't know anything about this, so I don't know how to help you, except to tell you to call him. But what I can tell you is It feeds off negative energy, and you need to call my friend. And he leaves. And Mika, of course, is like, well, that guy's a quack, which understandable. Like I said, I'd be like, okay. But
It's
when the
really
shit
hard.
starts happening,
Yeah. Yep. Like
can't
he
do this any
believes,
higher.
like he believes things are happening, but he still doesn't believe that that guy has any, idea what they're like. He just, it's so hard to accept that someone else could be like experienced in something like that.
I get not if look. I have a hard time believing that because I don't believe in the supernatural in general. I've never seen anything to make me believe in that. But if I had proof that the supernatural was indeed real and I tangibly experienced it, and then somebody was tangibly telling me, hey, I've experienced tons of these and this is what's going on, I'd probably listen to that person at that point. Now, if right now a guy came in and said, this place has negative energy, I'd say, yeah, it has negative energy because I want you to get the fuck out. That's the negative energy. You need to get out of my house. I didn't even invite you here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm in the bathroom. Leave me alone. In a scenario, I'm actually on the toilet when he walks in. What are you doing?
I sense a negative energy in here.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, didn't we recently meet somebody who said that they feel spirits or something?
I don't know. Did we?
I've encountered
Yeah, okay. It was I think the second day of that event that we went to. I encountered somebody who told me that, and I'm like, oh wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had a few experiences with this kind of stuff, so
look, I've had a couple experiences
think.
that I couldn't that were spooky, but I can explain most of them away still.
Yeah.
I've not had that definitive one. And even if I did, I'd still have to have more evidence that there's actually that it's actually a ghost or a especially if we're talking about a demon. I'd be able to buy a ghost a lot
don't believe
more
in
than I would a
demons
demon.
at all.
No.
But I might believe in ghosts, potentially.
I actually had something tonight happen.
Oh, what?
Cross my heart and hope to fall over. So I was on the bed with
I don't know why you'd
Quincy.
hope that, but okay.
So I was
you
on
don't
the bed
want to
with
hope
Quincy.
anything worse.
And, yeah, exactly. And I was scrolling, through Facebook and stuff like that, and I hear this sound, and it sounded like somebody was in the loft. So I was like, "You heard that, right?" And Quincy put her iPad down, and I walk out in there, and I'm looking around, looking downstairs, and I go over and open the door. So this is actually kind of cute. I open the door to see if Clark's still awake, and he's sitting there. It wasn't him, but he was sitting there with his deck of cards, playing cards with his shark puppet.
Interesting.
So anyway, I shut the door, and then I hear low battery, and I was like, "What the hell?" It was one of the kids' toys, but it got me. Initially, I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I thought Clark was out in the hall, and then he wasn't. And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of, I experience things every once in a while, and we all have.
Yeah.
But this movie, this
Sorry
isn't like
this.
No, you're good. But this movie isn't like there's something might be going on, guys. There's fucking unexplainable shit happening. He has a camera and he watches the door just open by itself, which could happen with the draft. But then he watches the door open by itself and the fucking blanket raise. Then he watches it when he brings in the Ouija board catch fucking fire.
Yeah.
When he watches the video back, and they never mention that. I'm sorry to say that would be the end of the line for me.
That really cracks me up.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Set on fire.
Makes no sense.
They stayed in that house way, 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 way too long. I'd have been out of there.
No, it's not the house. It's not the house.
I understand that. I still would have left.
I would have too.
Yeah,
100%.
I understand it's not the house. It's actually her, but
yeah,
if you're being haunted by a demon, you're living a life on the road from now on.
Yeah, the fact that they're just sitting around reading books and stuff, and talking about how this thing's going on. I'm like, okay, I think this is the most unrealistic part of this movie. What are we talking about
Mhm.
here?
They don't try to defend themselves at all.
No.
That's what
And
bugs
then,
me. I'm like, where's the
yeah.
crosses? Where's the Bibles? Like, get
Yeah, I'd have been
something,
sleeping with
anything.
garlic.
Yeah, salt circles,
Salt
Yeah,
circles.
around the bed. I would have
Yeah.
anything, rather than
Whatever I
just
have to
gotten
like,
a
do.
fucking super soaker with holy water in it.
yes, there.
Yeah. I
Now we're
mean,
talking.
so like,
That
Hope
would
the
do the trick,
vampires
I
come.
think.
I got them.
the stuff that works in the movie is when the tension starts to escalate, because there's, like with all these found footage movies, there's a lot of just filler and a lot of just kind of
Mm-hmm.
uh ticking down the time, and they're trying to build the tension. But it's hard with these kind of movies because the way they're shot, because they're just supposed to be people with a video camera, so they're not very pleasant to look at. So you don't have like any great mise en scene. You know what I mean? There's not like, look at the composition of this shot. It's, I need the camera to be pointed at me here, so I'm going to set it on the bedside table and going to get our faces like this close, so you can kind of see what's going on. And there's a couple of moments where where he inexplicably keeps the camera with them, so we can just see clips of him hugging her, so we don't completely hate him. Because the problem is he's a fucking dickbag, and he sucks. So I hated him regardless. Like when I was a kid, I didn't hate him as much. I was like, he's kind of annoying. He's an idiot. He should do this thing. As an adult man who is married and in a healthy relationship, I'm like, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah, like he's
If this
not,
guy would act this way to my wife, I'd punch him right in his face.
yeah,
Yeah, he made a comment about how it was her fault essentially, and I'm
yeah.
like, man, that was a real dick move,
Now,
buddy.
I can see from his perspective of, well, you never told me that this was a thing that happened to you. That would have been nice to know, which is true. I do believe that is true.
But you can't
Especially,
weaponize that.
you can't weaponize it, exactly. But he weaponizes it multiple times.
Yeah,
Not only when he weaponizes it when the camera gets brought in initially. So she's like, I don't want, I don't agree to this. And he's like, well, I didn't agree to this, but here we are, blah, blah. So, the Ouija board situation happens. And then things start to escalate. And we get some of the best scenes in the movie are when we get some like set pieces actually occurring. Like I like when they hear like the noise, like when things are really escalating, they hear the big bang downstairs, and they go down, and the chandelier swinging, and then they make it. And then the door slams, and that stuff is effective. It's pretty cool, especially for the budget they had and what they were doing. I like that stuff, and you can kind of feel the tension in some of that stuff. When he does the powder on the floor,
Yeah.
with the baby powder, what do you guys think of this bit?
I always love this bit. I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's
No,
like
Yeah, I would
creative.
agree.
Yeah.
It's something I would do. I would 100% have done that. Now, if it is some sort of a spirit, I mean, good luck. But it happens to be a demon, which apparently walks with 3 toes, so we get that.
Yeah.
But I would have definitely have done that.
And it also eliminates the possibility that it's a person, right? So if you put the powder down, you can realize it's not a person fucking with you, and you know that you can get that out, which they've already discovered because, again, guys, a Ouija board fucking planchette moves and then it catches on fire.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I've had that happen to me.
It just is like, well, let's just keep moving. I want to figure out what this message says. What are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? It caught on fire. That can't be good. She tells you the backstory about how her house caught on fire when she was a child, and then this catches on fire, and you're like,
yeah,
I must want to communicate. What in the actual fuck are you talking about?
There was no message. There was no message.
No.
I was like,
the
message is that demon just teabagged your Ouija board.
yeah, basically, yeah. I think if you look closely, you could see some a good old nut print on it.
Yeah,
a demon sack print.
Exactly. He's like,
what are you guys talking about right now? That's disgusting.
He's
what it looks like.
He mushroom stamped it.
That's
Oh man.
gross.
So that stuff is great, and so I think the powder scene is really great too. I think the payoff to the powder scene is kind of weak. Like it's supposed to be this big emotional, like like how does this picture even exist? Because it's this burnt photo of me as a child, but the actual execution and the prop look terrible, so it just kind of doesn't sell. I don't feel like to me, and I was like, well, that's kind of underwhelming. I thought it was going to be like a picture of their faces ripped up or something. When I was a kid, I remember just being like, what?
I feel like I was like, oh, that's really spooky. I would be freaked out by that.
I
But
would,
like
yeah.
the fact that
Personally, yes.
the feet thing was so much scarier to me. I'm like, those are dinosaur feet. Those are Ninja Turtle feet. Like, what is happening? Like,
Whoa.
why are we not talking
Whoa.
about that? You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Those are not Ninja Turtle feet. Thank you very much. They have 2 toes.
Okay,
They do.
okay. Sorry.
But
I'm just saying, like, that is so much scarier. Like, forget the attic. Forget
I
it.
get why it's there, and I get why it could be cool. Like, and why it would be effective if that was really, if that was you and you found that and you were super invested in the story. But we
Yeah.
basically get lip service for her backstory. We don't, and it's the whole tell don't show, which is never great. And then we get that weird like website scene with like the other person that has been
Diane.
Diane, that has been like haunted, and it did take me back though. I'm not gonna lie, it looked like it was like fucking made with angel fire or something. Like that website, GeoCities or some shit. I'm like, yeah, I remember those fucking those old school
Yeah.
HTML websites.
Dude, those Dell computer screens about killed me.
Dude,
I was like,
I
those
was
are
waiting.
those are vintage now.
I was debating on if I should talk about this, but I'm going to, since you mentioned the computers. Is one of the things I do love about this movie is I get like extreme like nostalgia for some of like the technology and just the vibes.
Yeah.
Like, guys, their TV
Yep.
is like mom
Yes.
and dad's old school projector TV, except it's kind of a wider screen. But
Yep.
it's a projection TV, a giant box projection TV, and that was like top of the line.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, look at that. And he's playing his guitar is a horrible Line 6 guitar that it's just like it's a modeling guitar, so it like does different styles.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and
jack of all trades, master of none.
the fact that they are sitting on a couch, he's playing guitar and she's knitting, and nobody is scrolling on their phones.
Yes, yeah,
100% gold. It's gold.
yes, yeah. I did like that stuff. Like it's like, oh, I remember, and just like lights off, just sitting there. They have like the mood lighting.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
hanging
oh,
out.
I remember sitting in mom and dad's living room. You know what I mean? Just that's what I was doing, just sitting in the living room, watching TV or playing the guitar or reading a book. And it's just like, and now we're just constantly grabbing our phones and scrolling through something. Something's lost here. That was our little tangent on the dangers and downfalls of technology, by the way.
Yeah.
That was our old school moment of the episode.
It's just nostalgia for the time.
Yeah.
It's wild how different things are already.
So, what's crazy is this movie's almost 20 years old. Almost.
That is crazy. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense in my mind.
I know. It's crazy. 18 years ago, this movie came out, and I'm just like, wow. That's just nuts. I was 19 when this thing came out. Which means now I'm only 27. Don't do the math yourself.
Sounds right.
Sounds right. And Derek was, how old would you be, Derek?
20. When was this movie? It was 2006,
2007.
right?
2007 is when it came out.
2007. God damn it! I don't know. I was older than you at the time.
Oh wait. Oh, you were about to celebrate your 45th birthday.
God damn it!
Now I get it. But yeah, so this thing,
I was 24.
24. Yep.
24 years old.
So, yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? Like that, how much time has passed. But I think those are the strongest scenes, and then I think that there's the scenes where they're building the characters are decent, and we need some of that because, like, there's a scene where he wakes up and she is not in bed, and he goes down and she's sitting on the swing in
Yeah.
like kind of
Hmm.
a catatonic state, and he
Yeah.
tries to like get her to come up, and she's kind of talking to him like she's sleepwalking, which is 100% like a sleepwalker. I mean, I remember when Jordan, my youngest brother, used to sleepwalk, and he would just talk to us. And there was one time where he just for some reason in his dream he was mad at me. Something that I did, he was mad at me, and he just was like giving me like a mean mug. He went upstairs. We followed him because he was talking. He's sitting in his bed. He goes and sits in his bed and kind of sits like a gargoyle in his bed, and he just looks at me and mean mugs me, and I could not stop laughing. I was like, "What the fuck?"
And he's sleepwalking at the time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what did I do? He's just like, he was so mad at me, personally me, because Dad's like, "Come on, let's go upstairs." I don't want to go. He's like, "Where is it? Where did it go?" We're like, "Buddy, are you asleep right now?" He's like, "I know what we're doing," and just like completely like not with it. And then
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, buddy, let's go upstairs." He's like, I was like, "Whoa, okay." Then, like I said, gargoyle position, just mean mug me.
That's so wild.
And he didn't really remember it, obviously, when he woke up, which is similar to this. I mean, she obviously went into like a demonic trance, but like, I think what's cool about this is when he hears the noise upstairs, the TV comes on, he goes up there, and when he spins around, there's a pretty good jump scare, really. When he turns around and she's in the doorway, out of
Hmm.
focus, and he's like, "Ah!"
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was in focus, it would have been a much, like if there was like a whip pan. But again, it's not the kind of movie we're doing here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's that's a pretty effective scene. I like that one a lot. Um, I also like when the psychic comes back. I think that's a good scene as well because I like how he's like, I really want to help, and I will get you help. I promise, I will help you. The other guy's out of town, but I'm getting really negative vibes here. It definitely doesn't want me here. I'm just making things worse. I'm gonna go. And she's like, "No, come back." He's like,
Peace.
"Ah." He knows his limitations. He's like, I will get you help. He'll be back in a few days. Just hold tight. I'm gonna go. Don't exasperate it. Don't make it angrier. And then, of course, right immediately, Mika's like, "Suck my dick!" You're like, "Oh my god." Good work, Mika.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yep.
And so, the ending of this movie,
That's such a German girl's name, Mika.
Mika, does remind me of Euro Trip.
That's why I said that.
Yep, Mike. This Mike guy, Mika. Mika's a girl. Yeah, that's a good one. Um, guys, the ending. What do you guys think of this ending?
For the most part, it's pretty good, except the face. I don't like the
I
face.
hate the face too. I
Yeah.
said the exact same thing, Derek.
Yeah.
It would have been
It's
so
not.
much better if it would have just stopped after she smiled,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or even after like you see him like hit the camera and fall down. You just see her in the doorway. Cut it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That demon face.
Did
Nah.
you did you like the face in 2007, or is it like
I don't
today?
even
never.
remember that part. I just remember him
Oh,
getting thrown at the camera.
okay.
But I did
Interesting.
not remember the demon face.
I didn't like it in 2007. I didn't like just the idea of like the morphing face. I just don't. It took me out of it because so much of it had been practical up to that
Yeah.
point. And I mean, there's obviously some digital trickery with especially with the footprints and the Ouija board and that sort of thing. But like,
Pulling her out of
um,
bed.
Yeah, but I just didn't like the. I just don't know. I never liked it either because it gives too much away. It's better if it's like left to your imagination. I feel like like
Yeah,
is she completely possessed, or is she a demon, or is she what's going on here? Especially since, like I said, I think this is a movie about toxic relationships, and I think that it's kind of about abuse because not all abuse is physical, right?
Hmm.
yeah,
And I feel like Mika's definitely being an abuser in their relationship at this point and a manipulator.
yeah.
Um,
100%.
so what did you think about the face, Lydia?
Yeah. I mean, watching it today, I was like, I laughed out loud when that face changed.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
did too.
that was an out loud laugh from me and Jake. Like, we were just like, I can't believe that that is how that looked. Like, because I remember it being really scary, but
Mm.
I've seen this movie so many times that it's it just is what it is. It's kind of like an iconic thing now. It's like, oh, she looks up and smiles and her face changes and it's super
Yeah,
scary. It's like
yeah.
that's how I remember people talking about it. It's just being like, did you see her face change though?
I never liked the face change even as when I saw this as a young guy. I was like, eh. I liked the ending because I think it's really like effective. I think it's a pretty good jump scare of
Yes,
him hitting
I
the camera.
agree. I think that is a good jump scare. It kind of is one of those stupid things though that I'm like that camera would have 100% fell over if a
Yeah.
full grown man just hit it. Like it wasn't like a crazy tripod.
Well,
It wouldn't
yeah,
have still been standing.
well, didn't it fall? It does fall because it falls with them, and she crawls
It
over to it.
oh,
Yeah,
I
she
thought
crawls
it just
over to
kind of
it.
I thought it just like kind of tilts down a little bit. I don't think it even moves
No,
very
I think
much.
it falls. It's supposed to have fallen over, and then she kind of crawls over to it. It's just not framed very well, obviously. If you
Yeah,
didn't pick up that,
yeah. It looks like it barely did anything. Barely budged.
so yeah, that bit is kind of. I like the ending though. I think it's pretty solid. Especially since we don't really see what happens, so it can be up to our imagination. So the original endings, there were a couple. One was that she, yells for Mika. He runs out to her, and then when she comes back in with a bloody shirt and a bloody knife, and then she slits her own throat and falls over. And the movie's like, then they do like a dedication card. Then another ending was same setup. She goes there. Mika. The struggle happens. We see her with the blood. Her friend comes over, finds Mika's body, calls the police. Uh, the police come in, and she's sitting by the bed, catatonic, because she comes in and stabs him. And then she's catatonic, sitting by the bed. When the police arrive, she comes out of her catatonia. There's like some shenanigans going on with the lights that spook the detectives. They turn around and see her with a knife, and they shoot her and kill her. And then
Oh
that's that ending.
snap! I
And then
should have
that's
watched
also
these.
dedicated. And then the ending that we got, the theatrical ending, was actually the one that was suggested by Steven Spielberg. Was the having slam into the camera, and it's like, yeah, the fucking guy knows what he's talking about. I would listen to him. What a great idea!
Yeah,
So they filmed the new ending. It was a DreamWorks. That was a DreamWorks ending. But that's kind of Paranormal Activity. There's not a lot to get into like the meat of stuff because it is just a collection of scenes that happen. What do you guys think?
Oh man, let's see. I tell you what, in 2006 or seven, whenever this movie came out, I probably would have given this movie like an 8. I remember it like really, like you feel it. You know what I mean? It's like the first time you watched Blair Witch, like back in the day. You were like, walking home with Joey and like freaking out because it's all dark and stuff. Anyway, it hits a little different now. Um, Desensitized to to things like this. But you do have to give it some props. I'm going to give this movie a 6.5. It was really solid. The first time my kids watch it, they're going to freak out. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, 6.5 for me.
What do you think, Lydia?
Dang, yeah, I think you're right. I think it does kind of sit around that because like 6 feels pretty low, but 7 feels pretty high. like,
Yeah.
like for what it is, like as much nostalgia as I have for this movie, and it was just yeah. I'll give it a 6.5 too. I think that's a good score for this.
Yeah, guys, I'm right there. I was worried you guys were going to like give it like super high marks because
Yeah,
I was living in like as I was watching this thing last night, I was living in the sixes. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I was living in the sixes, and I was like, I feel like this is kind of like a 6.5-ish, 6-ish. And so, yeah, I agree. It's a 6.5 for me as well. And the IMDb score for this, by the way, guys, is 6.3. So we are
uh,
like right on with the
yeah,
IMDb score.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like that feels
Um,
like a fair score. It's
yeah,
not like
because I don't think it's
that's
quite a 7, but it's not like a 4 or something like that. You know,
yeah. It's
it's
like
solid.
it's like an accidental classic.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
it's solid. And I mean,
for what it
when
is.
it came out at the right time, and it rode this wave, and like fucking crushed off in the box office.
Yeah.
So
All
you
those
know,
people that were sitting on their couches playing guitar and knitting were like, we got to go see this thing.
yeah, let's check this out. I'm hearing about it, honey. I mean, my parents did. Dad was probably literally playing the guitar, and mom was, I don't know what the hell she was doing,
She
watching
was probably
SVU.
like she had like her meeting hobby with her friend that she's
Yeah,
probably
mom was probably watching SVU.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
she
So
definitely was.
she was watching SVU. Dad was playing the guitar. I was upstairs playing PlayStation. And they're like, "Hey, you want to come up and you want to go to the movies?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then we came back, and I remember being up in my room, being like, "Fucking, what was that noise? Make sure there's nothing here." All right, we're good. Because I was, had
Yeah,
that back
yeah,
room by myself.
yep. And that back room is haunted too.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky. I mean, I lived there for years by myself in that back room, and never, experienced a couple things, but I never died or anything, so it's fine.
Right. It wasn't. That's because it
Hey,
wasn't a demon haunting. It was just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
regular ghost.
yeah.
do you remember the time that ghost tried to pee on your PlayStation?
That was not a ghost. That was Zach, actually.
Yeah.
That was the vodka-soaked Zach at that point. I'll never forget that. I'm turned off all the TV and stuff. We've been drinking all night. He's had way more than me. I'm pretty like starting to sober up pretty good. And head hit the pillow. I'm like, oh, comfortable, and I hear just like the creak of that floor, that wood floor. And I look up just in time to see Zach like walking over, and he unzips his pants right on my PlayStation. I was like, no, dude. I get up. I was like, that's my PlayStation. We don't pee in the PlayStation. Walk to the stairway. I'm trying to walk him downstairs. He starts to unzip his pants. No, this is the stairs. Let's go downstairs.
What?
Oh my
Guys, we gotta
god.
throw it in there. It's for the audience at this point.
Oh my god.
You're
Send the
supposed to
time
make them.
code to us.
You're supposed to make them subtle. That way, people have to like try to find it. That wasn't very subtle.
Well,
Derek's about
just
as subtle as a sledgehammer.
be happy
I
you're
feel
not
like
here.
I can smell it over here.
Yeah,
I can
me
feel
too.
it over here, and it's not good.
You can feel it? Did you shit yourself?
No, I can feel it in my nostrils. You know how your butt feels like it's on fire, and you get that
Derek!
tingling feeling in your nose.
Derek, this is way too much information.
We gotta cut this out. We gotta cut
That's
it out.
horrible. Yeah. Um. So, Lydia, it's your turn
Yeah.
to pick.
Oh yeah.
What are
Yep.
we watching next week?
I have
But
one.
first, we've got to aconize this movie.
Thrill me.
Oh, I know who it
There's
is.
only one person it could
Who?
be. The fucking
doctor.
doctor guy.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Lydia. So, what are we picking for next week?
All right. I think I'm in the mood for some Nosferatu.
All right, Robert Edgar's uh, 2024. That's wild, by the way. Uh, Nosferatu, which is streaming, by the way, for all of you. You can find it on Amazon with a subscription, Apple TV, Fandango at Home, YouTube, and Google Play Movies. It is also streaming exclusively on Peacock, I do believe. So,
Nice.
Nosferatu, Robert Edgar's Nosferatu next week. So that'll be a fun one. We gave you guys a quick glimpse of what we thought. Has our thoughts changed? Let's find out. Nosferatu. So, you guys, your homework is to watch Nosferatu and also to comment down below on what you think of Paranormal Activity. Tell us what you think of the movie itself, the concept. Were we too low with our ratings? Were we too high with our ratings? Let us know. Also, tell us what movies you want us to do in the future, because we're open to any ideas here. And see down there in the description. Follow that for the website at HiLaProductions.com, the Facebook page at HiLa Productions, where you can stay up to date on all things HiLa Productions and Screen Bloody Movies related, including our feature film that we are in the process of making, Secret Admirer. Also linked in the description, and at the end of this video, you'll see a link for the opening scene to Secret Admirer. So check that out, comment, and help us make our movie. So guys, next week, we're digging our fangs into Nosferatu, which I have not seen since the theater, by the way.
Me either.
So
Me neither.
it's going to be a great watch. So
Yeah.
turn down the lights, get your mustaches and your big dick swinging, so we can watch some Nosferatu. So until next week, for Derek Lemaster and Lydia Judy, I'm Jimmy Hiles. Remember, if you're going to scream bloody movies.